All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a role that, believe it or not, shapes pretty much every piece of tech you use, and you probably don't even realize it. We're talking about product management.
You know that feeling when you use an app or a product and you just think, wow, this is brilliant. It just works. It's so intuitive, it almost feels like it was made just for you. Well, let me tell you, that seamless experience, it is never an accident. It's the result of countless tiny decisions, some really tough trade-offs, and a super clear vision. And right at the heart of it all, you've got the invisible hand of a great product manager.
So where did this whole product manager thing even come from? I think to really get what they do today, we've got to go back in time a bit. Let's take a look at how this role evolved, all the way from old school business to the center of the tech world we live in now.
You know, the journey of this role is actually pretty fascinating. It really shows how it had to adapt. It all started way back in the 1930s with these guys called brandmen. Their whole world was making sure a single product like a bar of soap was a huge success. Fast forward to the 80s, and suddenly tech is booming. Software is the new thing, and that created a need for a totally new kind of leader. Then in the 2000s, we get the Agile Revolution, which is really just a fancy way of saying we needed to build things faster and more flexibly. This demanded someone who could be the bridge between what the business wanted, what the tech team could build, and what the users actually needed. And all of that brings us right to today, where the modern PM is just, well, they're essential.
Okay, so that brings us to the present day. What is the mission of a product manager now? Like, what do they actually do? Let's break it down.
When you boil it all down, the role really stands on three main pillars. First, there's driving value. Second is aligning business and customer needs. And third, and this is a big one, it's about setting the stage for leadership.
Okay, that first pillar, driving value. That sounds a little corporate, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, in practice, it's this nonstop process of figuring out what is genuinely useful and important to the customer. Then, you have to deliver that through the product, all while making sure it actually helps the business succeed. It's this constant loop of discovering what people need and then delivering it.
And really, there's only one way to truly deliver that value. You have to become the customer's biggest champion inside the company. The product manager is literally the voice of the customer in every single meeting, making sure the team never forgets there's a real person on the other end of what they're building.
Now here's something that trips a lot of people up. What's the difference between a product manager and a project manager? They sound so similar. But here's the easiest way to remember it. The product manager is all about the what and the why. What are we building and why are we building it? The project manager, on the other hand, is the master of the how and the when. How are we going to get this done, and when will it be finished? Think of it this way. One sets the destination, the other figures out the route to get there.
So all of these things, understanding the why, being the customer's voice, they all build up to that third pillar we talked about, leadership. Because you see, being a great PM isn't just a job title. It's a genuine path to becoming a true leader in a company. Yeah, and that link is so direct. I mean, think about the skills you have to master as a PM. You've got to deeply understand your customer. You have to get all these different teams to work together. You have to make tough calls on strategy. Those are the exact same skills you need to be an effective leader.
And that journey to leadership usually follows a few key steps. First, you just have to master the fundamentals, really nail down how to deliver value. Then, you start building influence. This is key. You learn how to guide your teams, the engineers, the designers, without actually being their boss. And from there, you evolve. You go from just managing features on a product to shaping the entire vision for where that product is going.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. Why does this role matter so much? And I don't just mean for a company's profit. I mean for the actual technology that you and I use every single day. I really love this analogy because it just clicks. Think of building a product like composing a symphony. The product manager, they're the conductor. They might not be playing the violin or the trumpet themselves, but they're the ones making sure that every single section, the engineers, the designers, marketing, are all playing together in harmony to create something truly incredible. And that right there is why this all matters so much. The work these product managers do, it literally shapes the tools of our future. From the apps on your phone to the massive software systems that run the world. They're on the front lines, taking a simple idea and turning it into a real, tangible thing that can change how we all live and work. Which kind of leaves us with one last big question. You know, behind every great solution to a problem, there's a great product. And behind every one of those products is a product manager who's constantly asking why and what's next. So the real question for all of us is, what problem is the next great product going to solve?
you.